Do your anxious thoughts constantly distract you from what's actually going on in the present? Your heart races, your thoughts spiral, your body reacts like you're in danger, but you can't point to a real threat. Today, I want to talk about why that happens, how our brains sometimes warn us about imaginary threats, and how faith helps us respond with truth instead of fear. God designed our brains with a built-in alarm system called the amygdala. Its job is to protect us. It scans for danger and reacts quickly, often before we have time to think. The problem is that the amygdala doesn't know the difference between real danger and perceived danger. It reacts to thoughts, memories, what-if scenarios, just like it would react to an actual threat. My dog Bailey reminds me of an overactive amygdala. She is the cutest little golden doodle, and at least once a week, she starts barking frantically to protect our family from danger. The problem is that usually the perceived dangerous predator is actually her own reflection. She's constantly barking at the sliding glass door, at the oven, the dishwasher, because she sees her own reflection and she thinks there is a dangerous golden doodle intruder in our house. Our amygdala sends us into what we know of as fight or flight mode. It activates your nervous system to prepare for the strenuous physical activity of running or fighting. This is why your heart starts beating faster and you breathe harder when you're feeling anxious. Hundreds of years ago, fight or flight mode was activated constantly because real physical danger was common. Wild animals, lack of shelter, illness, and daily survival threats. That quick reacting alarm system was a gift from God that kept people alive. But in modern life, those immediate physical dangers are far less frequent, while mental and emotional stressors are everywhere. The same brain that once protected us from predators now reacts to emails, conversations, and even imagined futures as if they carry the same level of threat. Understanding this helps us respond with compassion toward ourselves and invites us to slow down, bring our fears to God, and let His peace retrain our minds for the world we live in now. Scripture tells us that God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and of sound mind. Fear itself isn't sin. It's a signal. But when fear is driven by imagined threats, it can quietly shape how we think, pray, and live. An overactive alarm system can keep us stuck in worry instead of trust. Romans 12:2 calls us to be transformed by the renewing of our minds. That means learning to pause and ask, is my brain protecting me or overreacting? What does God's truth say about this moment? Faith doesn't shut off the alarm, it helps us interpret it wisely. So here are 4 steps you can use the next time you notice you're headed into fight or flight mode. Think of the word calm. Clarify the fear, anchor in the present, lift it to God, meditate on truth. The first step, C, clarify the fear, is simply to name what's actually going on. Don't try to push it away or minimize it. Just identify it clearly. Is it a worry about the future, a fear of failure, or something else entirely? Writing it down or saying it aloud can help you see it for what it really is. By clarifying the fear, you take it out of the shadows and make it something you can bring to God in prayer. Scripture reminds us to cast all your anxieties on Him because He cares for you. That's 1 Peter 5:7. So naming it is the first step to casting it on Him. Next, anchor in the present. Ground yourself in the reality around you. Our brains often amplify imagined threats because they're stuck in the what-if future. Anchoring in today helps you distinguish between real danger and whatever your mind is imagining. I like to do breathing exercises to calm down my body's nervous response to the imagined threat. focusing on deep breaths from the diaphragm or belly area and slowing down, naming some things you're experiencing with your 5 senses grounds you in the moment. Next, lift it to God. Once you've clarified and anchored, the next step is to bring the fear to God in prayer. Talk to Him honestly. Ask for His peace, guidance, and perspective. This isn't about trying to solve the fear on your own. It's about handing it over to the one who sees the whole picture. Scripture calls us to rejoice in prayer. Do not be anxious about anything, but in everything, by prayer and supplication, with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known to God. Philippians 4:6. Lifting it to God reminds your heart that you're not alone carrying this burden. Finally, meditate on truth. Replace your anxious thoughts with what is true. Meditate on scripture, promises, or facts that contradict fear and worry. This step retrains our mind to dwell on what is real, good, and trustworthy. By meditating on truth, we let God's perspective rewrite the story that our amygdala is trying to tell us. Over time, this step strengthens our faith and transforms anxious habits into confidence in God's presence. So if your mind feels loud or reactive, you're not broken. You're human with a brain designed to protect you. With God's help, you can learn when to listen to the alarm and when to gently quiet it. If this resonated, let me know in the comments. What's one fear you're learning to hand over to God instead of reacting to? And if you want more faith-based encouragement about renewing your mind and walking in peace, don't forget to hit subscribe.